This is John D'Agostino with D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm, and I'm proud to be a sponsor and partner of WABC Radio and Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel. God bless America.
I'm attorney Jenna D'Agostino, continuing the legacy my father, John D'Agostino, started 35 years ago.
I grew up on these New York and New Jersey streets. They shaped me. I'm attorney John D'Agostino from D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm.
Call our team first.
888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
The cold winter weather is coming, and the team at Peerless Boilers, they're ready to help you prepare for this season. It's time to make sure your home is nice and warm for the cold weather. Save loads of money on your fuel bill. Do it now before it's too late and you've got a mess on your hands. Start thinking about replacing your old beast of a boiler with a new high-efficiency Peerless Boiler. Go to peerlessboilers.com, pop in your zip code, and you'll find a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and proud sponsor of Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel.
Oy! This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it, and as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad, you know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then.
Boy, what a great song. Want to be just like you, Dad, and my son, Gabriel, you know. Been a great show today. We've talked about a lot of good stuff. Curtis was terrific. Alex Trayman and Israel Peter King moments ago. We're still going to talk to Lara Trump, Scott LeBedo, and maybe Darryl Strawberry. But yesterday was a very special day in the lives of Danielle, Sydney, Ava, and Gabriel Rosenberg. You guys know this. I'll be honest. I'm transparent. There are a couple of congressmen that I love personally, above and beyond their politics. Anthony D'Esposito out on Long Island is a dear friend, and so is Mike Lawler in Rockland County. He's a great politician. He's great. I can't believe this louse Mondaire Jones is even in this race. But I happen to love Mike Lawler as a person. And my wife reached out to Lawler's office, my beautiful wife Danielle, a while back. She was trying to introduce some type of legislation to help ensure that people like Gabriel with dyspraxia get health care coverage and also make more people aware of dyspraxia when you consider that 1 in every 20 Americans will be diagnosed with it, yet most of you never heard of it. And what did Mike Lawler do? Along with bipartisan help from Josh Gottheimer out in New Jersey, put the bill together for the House and introduced legislation to help ensure exactly what my wife wanted him to do. And you got to understand, you know, it was we went through a lot with Gabriel as a little boy, and we've gone through some tough stretches. He's an amazing kid. I know, listen, he's not better than your kid, but he's an amazing kid. And to see this happen yesterday, my wife and I last night, we just couldn't believe it. And I need to thank Mike Lawler for this. So here he is, the great congressman out of Rockland County, my friend Mike Lawler. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah, well,
let me tell you, Sid, it's my pleasure. You and Danielle are truly special people, and certainly your son Gabriel. God bless him. He's done so much, obviously, dealing with this disorder. But, Josh and I were so honored to introduce the Gabriel Rosenberg Dyspraxia DCD Coverage Act, which really it establishes a GAO study to report to Congress on.
Where'd he go? Oh, report to Congress. We lost him. We got to get him back. Find out exactly what they're going to report to Congress. And I do have to thank him, too, because they could have named this bill 1,000 things, but to actually name the bill after Gabriel, just amazing. Did his phone die? Is that possible?
I hope not.
You can never, ever. Your phone can't die, Mike Lawler. I mean, but he's not calling back right away, so the phone may have died. I know he's got a busy morning coming up. I think there he is right there. Michael, you there?
I'm calling him.
Oh, right you're now. Calling him. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a good chance the phone died. So anyway, he was about to say that they're going to report to Congress. Well, let me read exactly what it says here in the press release that went out yesterday. Lawler and Gottheimer introduced legislation. There he is calling on line 2 to help ensure health care coverage for children and adults struggling with dyspraxia. Earlier this year, Lawler and Gottheimer introduced a resolution expressing support for the designation. Here he is. Lawler's back. So, Mike, you're about to say you guys are going to report to Congress exactly what about dyspraxia?
So it's meant to report to Congress, what is currently covered by insurance and what barriers to coverage actually exist. So we want to know, obviously, what treatments are provided under Medicare, under Medicaid, other private health insurance, and what the barriers are, because it impacts about 5 to 6% of the population. And as I was saying, it's as common as ADHD.
Wow.
So, this is something where, I think, obviously, your wife, Danielle, has done yeoman's work trying to raise awareness. And Josh and I certainly are proud to support this effort. As you were just mentioning, we introduced a resolution expressing support for the designation of October 9th through today, October 16th, as National Dyspraxia Developmental Coordination Disorder, otherwise known as DCD Awareness Week.
Wow.
And,
Jeez.
you and Danielle, obviously this is something that you're very passionate about, understandably. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and my wife and I are expecting our second daughter next week. And as parents, you will do anything to support your child, and especially if they're dealing with, some type of illness or disorder. And I certainly appreciate the work that you guys have done on this.
God, we love you. Thank you, Mike. This I can't tell you what it means to us. I also spoke to my dear friend Vinny Viola. He owns the Florida Panthers, who won the Stanley Cup last year. And Vinny and I had a conversation last night, and the Panthers are going to have one night this year. They're going to have Dyspraxia Awareness Night. Then they're going to fly down to Florida, and they're going to take a proceed from some of the tickets and put it towards our charity. So you get people like Mike Lawler and Josh Gottheimer and Vinny Viola and O'Reilly and all these people involved, things are going to improve for people like Gabriel all over the world. By the way, I'm pretty sure I've got dyspraxia too. So thank you so much for this, Mike. I know you're running out of time. I want to get to your race. I know that D'Esposito had his debate last night against Gillum. Your debate is coming up against Mondaire Jones. What can we expect from that?
We're going to be taping it this morning. It'll air tonight at 8:30 on News 12. We have a debate next week as well on CBS 2 New York, and then one on November 1st on Pix 11. Look, I'm going to be direct and blunt with the voters. I mean, Mondaire was the third most progressive member of Congress. He supported defunding the police and cashless bail. He supported open borders. He called police officers racist and white supremacists. Believe that ICE agents are terrorists. He supports socialism. He called himself a socialist. He supports Medicare for all, the Green New Deal. This is somebody who wants to give voting rights to cop killers and rapists while they're in prison. From my vantage point, it would be a disaster if Mondaire Jones, ever got back into Congress. And I think the voters understand that. And that's why I think in less than 3 weeks, we're going to be victorious.
You've got 3 debates, though, coming up, 3?
Yeah, I'm a big believer. The public has a right to hear from you. I mean, I've done over 50 town halls and mobile office hours. And nobody ever afforded me televised debates when I ran for the state assembly or Congress 2 years ago. And so I offered to do 3 televised debates. I think it's fair. And I think, frankly, the voting public deserves nothing less.
Michael, I got to tell you this. I think the world of you, not just as a human being, and again, what you did here with Josh for Danielle, Sydney, Gabe, and Ava is above and beyond. You don't have to do that, but as a politician, you stand for all the right things you do. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would vote for Jones. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would vote for Harris. I just don't get it. But for folks who want to make sure they help you win this election coming up in 20 days, how do they help out Mike Lawler?
They can go to LawlerForCongress.com, Lawler, F-O-R, Congress.com, or text Lawler to 85007. We need your help. My opponent has raised over $8 million. This is going to be the most expensive congressional seat in the country, over $40 million. When all is said and done, we need to get across the finish line. So anything you can chip in will go a long way to help us win on November 5th.
I know you're taping this first of three debates in about 60 seconds. So let me quote the great Talia Shire, or Adrian, when she woke up after the coma in Rocky II. Win, Lawler. Win.
You got it.
All right. Thank you so much for the work you've done for me, Danielle, and Gabe. And go kick his ass, okay?
Yo, Sid, we did it.
We did it. By the way, we're going to say that on November the 5th, okay? I promise you that.
You got it. You got it.
Mike Lawler, the king of Rockland County, and what he's done for my family, we will never, ever forget.